Good morning. Just got out of the shower and I have a story I wanted to share, but before I get started, I want to show that I am wearing my autism support shirt for my grandson Waylon. He is the joy of our lives and brings so much joy and happiness to our family. So support those who are struggling with autism because they can make a difference in everyone's lives. One of the joys I have is substitute teaching at a couple Christian academies. And a lot of times I get to teach Bible to middle schoolers, mainly, sometimes high school. One of my favorite assignments is the What Was Their Name assignment, where I have them go back and look at several miracles and stories out of the Bible, stories that all of us have heard, to figure out who was the name of the people that were involved. For example, we've all heard the story of the loaves and fishes, right? Where Jesus had 5,000 men, so probably 25,000 people, because they would all had families and children and so forth. And he fed them with 2 fish and 5 loaves. And so we read that. There's 4 gospel stories about it, and yet none of them even name the boy other than John in chapter 6, but no name is given. Another story is a lady who met Jesus at the well. That comes from John chapter 4. There's a lady who had been divorced 5 times. Think about our society today and how prevalent divorce is. And yet, most of us can't name anybody that we know that's been divorced 5 times. This lady had been way back in a time when it really was taboo. And yet, she came to Jesus. He knew her story, and nowhere do we get her name. Doesn't matter. And finally, you remember the prodigal son, right? The boy who wanted his inheritance so he could go and sow his oats, and he wanted to do what he wanted to do. And the bottom line was he ended up coming back. It's a great story about redemption and forgiveness, but no name's ever mentioned of him. So what's the point? The point is God works miracles, uses our obedience and our willingness to serve to do great things for other people and for ourselves, just like he did through the Bible repeatedly. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be important. All you have to be is one who has faith and one who trusts him to do what he does. Don't buy into the 15 minutes of fame culture, because that's not what God's about. All he wants is our faith and our obedience. Thanks for listening.